Welcome! In this devotional explainer from the You Need Faith in Jesus team, we're going to be exploring a prayer that was born right from the heart of a battle, a raw cry for help when you feel like you're caught in the crossfire.
Have you ever had one of those moments, where you feel like you're just being attacked from all sides, completely overwhelmed? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into with Psalm 60. This isn't some prayer written after a nice, neat victory. No, this was written from the messy, uncertain middle of the fight. So, to really get this psalm, we've got to start with the crisis that sparked it. Let's dig into the desperate situation that produced this incredibly raw and honest cry to God.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Imagine this. Your main army is off fighting a huge war miles and miles away. You think you're safe back home, and then bam, an old enemy, Edom, launches a surprise attack from the south. This wasn't just a military problem. It was a total shock to the system, a national crisis that left the entire kingdom feeling vulnerable and exposed.
And listen to how David starts this prayer in verse 1. There's no big, praise-filled intro, nope. It's a raw, honest complaint. He feels like God has thrown them away, scattered them. He's convinced God is angry. The power here is in that honesty. He's not hiding his feelings. He's bringing that sense of abandonment right to God and just pleading, turn back to us.
And he keeps going with this feeling in verse 2, crying out, "Thou hast made the earth to tremble. Thou hast broken it." I mean, what a powerful image. He's using this picture of a violent earthquake to describe how their security, their confidence was just shattered. It's like the very ground they stood on was cracking beneath their feet. Then in verse 3, David uses this really striking phrase. He says, God made them drink the wine of astonishment. What does that even mean? Well, think about a bitter, confusing trial that just leaves you staggering, completely disoriented and shocked at how fragile you really are. It's one of those painful lessons God sometimes allows to teach us something absolutely vital.
But then, right in the middle of all that despair, everything changes. The whole psalm just pivots. It's this dramatic shift away from the crisis and toward this incredible, unshakable hope. Here's what he remembers. In verse 4, he declares, "Thou hast given a banner to them that fear thee, that it may be displayed because of the truth." Now, in the crazy chaos of an ancient battle, what was a banner? It was everything. It was the rallying point, the symbol of who you were and what you were fighting for. And here's the key thing. This banner isn't some clever military tactic. It's God's truth. It's a call to rally around who God is and what he's promised, especially when everything else feels like it's falling apart. Just like a soldier would look to their flag to get their bearings in the chaos, we're supposed to look to God's truth when we feel scattered by fear. And for us today, our banner is Jesus Christ. He is our ultimate focal point for hope.
So now that his eyes are on the banner, David's prayer completely shifts. He starts appealing to God's love for his beloved, and he asks for salvation from God's right hand. And that right hand in the Bible, that's a huge deal. It always means God's ultimate power, his direct, active intervention. This isn't just a wish, it's a plea for a powerful rescue.
All right, so let's look at how this huge shift from staring at the problem to staring at God's promises totally transforms David's confidence for the impossible battle that's still waiting for him.
This right here, this is the pivot point for his whole mindset. God hath spoken. And just like that, everything changes. His situation? Nope, that's still the same. But because he's now standing on the rock-solid certainty of God's word, he can say, I will rejoice. And once he grabs hold of God's word, man, his confidence just explodes. In verses 7 and 8, he starts declaring future victory like it's already happened. He reaffirms that God owns the land, and then he speaks about his enemies almost with contempt. He says Moab will be his washpot, and he'll toss his shoe over Edom, which was an ancient way of saying, I own this place now. This isn't just wishful thinking, this is faith in action.
But here's the thing. Faith isn't about ignoring reality. David looks at the strong city of Edom. These were famously unbeatable fortresses built into the rock. So when he asks this question, it's not him doubting, not at all. It's him declaring his dependence on God, saying, I know I can't do this on my own, so who's going to lead me in?
And he gets his answer in verse 11. It's this profound moment where he realizes all our human solutions, our best plans, our own strength, it's all vain. That means it's empty, it's useless against the real battles. Real help, the kind that actually works, only comes from God.
Okay, so that's David's story. But what about us? How do we take this incredible journey from total despair to this defiant faith and actually apply it to our own lives, our own battles?
The very last verse 12, lays it all out for us. It's this amazing divine human partnership. It starts with through God. That's our power source. Because of him, we shall do valiantly. So we still have a part to play. We have to act with courage. But the final win, that belongs to God and God alone. For he it is that shall tread down our enemies.
So if you boil it all down, Psalm 60 gives us this really practical 4-step battle plan. First, cry out honestly. Tell God exactly how you feel. Second, rally to his truth. Make his word your banner. Third, trust his strength. Admit you can't win this on your own. And finally, number 4, you act valiantly. You move forward with courage because you know he is with you.
So, as we wrap this up, I want you to make this really personal. We all have our own strong cities, right? Those seemingly impossible situations, persistent habits, or overwhelming challenges. So, my question for you is this. After hearing this, what's the strong city you're finally going to stop trying to conquer in your own strength and instead trust God to lead you into?
Well, thank you so much for joining us for this devotional. This explainer was brought to you by the You Need Faith in Jesus team.